Have you ever walked away from a conversation with a woman, replaying every moment in your head, wondering, was she into me or just being nice? If so, you're not alone. Most men miss the mark, not because they're clueless, but because they've been taught to look for fireworks when attraction often whispers. The truth is, women rarely say "I like you" outright. Instead, they show it through quiet gestures, fleeting glances, and subtle signals that speak volumes if you know how to read them. And here's why this matters. The ability to recognize these signs doesn't just help in dating. It helps you build deeper, more respectful, emotionally intelligent relationships. When you learn to tune into what's not being said, you become the kind of man who listens with his whole presence, not just his ears. Because in the end, attraction isn't about playing games or performing tricks. It's about connection, real, honest human connection. And that begins when you stop looking for the obvious and start noticing the quiet truth. So in this video, we're going to decode 5 subtle but powerful signs a woman gives when she's genuinely drawn to you. Not the fake smiles, not the polite laughs, but the real stuff, rooted in psychology, backed by experience, and more common than you think. Let's dive in. Let's be honest, when it comes to attraction, most men think it's all about looks. But if you've ever wondered why some guys with average appearance still attract incredible women, here's the secret. Women are not just looking with their eyes, they're feeling with their emotions. Attraction for women isn't sparked by flashy muscles or a luxury watch. It's triggered by something deeper: emotional safety, presence, and confidence. A woman doesn't fall for how loud you are. She's drawn to how deeply you notice her. That moment when she feels seen, not scanned, when she feels heard, not interrupted. That's where real attraction begins. And here's the mistake many men make. They look for moments, one smile, one laugh, one compliment, and they think it means something. But women communicate attraction in patterns, not isolated acts. It's not about what she does once. It's about what keeps repeating when she's around you. So if you're trying to figure out whether a woman is interested, don't look for fireworks. Look for consistency in the small things. Eye contact, lingering presence, curiosity about your world. Attraction for women isn't always loud, but when it's real, it leaves echoes. Keep that in mind as we dive into the first signs of subtle female attraction. Because when you learn to read the emotional blueprint behind her behavior, you stop chasing and start connecting. Genuine eye contact. Let's talk about something so simple yet so overlooked. Eye contact. Not the polite kind, not the quick glance. I'm talking about the kind of look that lingers just a little longer than it should. The kind where time seems to slow down for half a second, and you feel something shift. When a woman holds your gaze with softness, warmth, and presence, it's not random. It's not polite behavior. It's biology, psychology, and emotion woven into a single look. Her pupils might even dilate, a completely unconscious reaction tied to emotional arousal. And in that moment, she's not just looking at you. She's inviting you to see her. Eye contact, especially prolonged and intentional, is one of the oldest forms of nonverbal intimacy. It's vulnerable. It says, "I see you and I want you to see me too." But here's where most guys fumble. Either they get awkward and look away too fast, or they overdo it and stare like a statue. Neither works. The right move? Respond with relaxed confidence. Meet her gaze, hold it gently, and pair it with a genuine smile. Not a smirk, not a performance, just presence. That one moment of stillness between two people can say more than 100 words, and it's often the beginning of something real. So, next time her eyes find yours, and don't let go, don't flinch, lean in, because that's not just a look, that's a door. Subtle touches. Let's be honest, most men underestimate the power of touch, but when it comes to female attraction, subtle physical contact can speak volumes. Maybe she gently brushes your hand as you hand her a cup of coffee, or maybe she touches your arm while laughing at something you said. It's fleeting, almost casual. But make no mistake, it's intentional. These small, almost accidental touches are her way of closing the gap between you, not just physically, but emotionally. She's testing the waters, asking silently, "Are you safe? Can I trust this moment?" Touch is one of the most powerful non-verbal signals of human connection. And when a woman initiates it in these small, subtle ways, She's communicating. More than comfort. She's expressing a desire for closeness without saying a word. So how should you respond? First, don't panic. Don't overthink. And definitely don't rush to escalate. The move here is simple. Mirror the energy. If she touches your arm gently during a conversation, you might return the gesture later with a light, respectful tap on her shoulder. Keep it natural. Keep it grounded. Attraction doesn't need grand gestures. It thrives in the small moments we often overlook. If you can be present enough to notice them and calm enough to respond with grace, that's where connection begins. Active listening and engagement. Here's the truth. When a woman is genuinely into you, it shows in how she listens. Not just the polite nods or generic smiles, but real, focused presence. She leans in when you speak. Her eyes stay locked on yours. She mirrors your gestures without even realizing it. And when you say something funny, even mildly funny, she laughs a little longer than expected. This isn't just being courteous. This is engagement. And in female psychology, that's a powerful signal. You see, women aren't just drawn to looks or bravado. They're deeply wired to seek emotional resonance, someone who sees beyond the surface, who listens, who cares. So when she leans in, it's not about hearing your words. It's about feeling your presence. When she mirrors you, it's her subconscious trying to sync with you. It means she's emotionally present. She's investing in the moment. Your move? Don't rush. Don't fill every silence with words. Instead, stay with her. Ask open-ended. Questions like, what was that moment in your life that changed everything? Be curious, not to impress her, but to understand her. When a woman feels heard, truly heard, that's when walls start to fall. And trust? It's built one quiet, attentive moment at a time. Playful teasing or flirting, one of the most underrated signs that a woman is secretly into you. Playful teasing. You know those light-hearted jabs, mock debates over your favorite sports team, or that grin she flashes when she challenges your coffee order. It's not just banter, it's chemistry in motion. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, she lets her guard down, and in many cases, that comes in the form of teasing. It's her way of testing the emotional waters, not to push you away, but to pull you in. This kind of interaction builds something rare, rapport, a language that's unique just between the two of you. Now, here's the important part. How you respond matters more than you think. If you get defensive or try too hard to win the exchange, it kills the vibe. But if you match her tone with ease, maybe tease her right back with a knowing smile, you're showing that you're confident, relaxed, and emotionally attuned. Flirting isn't always about grand gestures. Sometimes it's hidden in a shared laugh, a playful challenge, or a line that lingers just a second too long. And when you meet that energy with grace, you're not just attracting her, you're inviting her into a dynamic where she can be both safe and alive. Prioritizing time with you. Let's be honest, time is the one thing none of us ever seem to have enough of. So when a woman makes space for you in her busy life, it's not random, it's meaningful. Maybe she suggests grabbing coffee between meetings, or she texts just to see how your day is going. These aren't small gestures, they're windows into her priorities. When a woman chooses to spend her limited free time with you, it's a powerful sign she sees something worth investing. Simon, think about it. People don't carve out time for those they feel indifferent toward. Time is our most precious currency, and when she spends it on you, she's making an emotional deposit. But here's the thing. Don't take it for granted. A simple, thanks for making time for me can speak volumes. It tells her you notice her effort, that you value her presence, and that you're not just there for the attention, you're there for the connection. Want to deepen that bond? Reciprocate. Be intentional with your own time. Be fully present when you're together. Because when two people are choosing each other, not just out of habit but out of genuine interest, something real begins to grow. Common misinterpretations. Let's get real for a moment. Sometimes we see what we want to see. A smile, a compliment, a kind gesture. It's easy to misread these as signs of attraction, but not every warm act means romantic interest. This is where a lot of men get tripped up. We confuse friendliness with flirtation, and that's when awkwardness and disappointment follow. Think about it. How many times have you overanalyzed a look, a laugh, a message, waiting for her to text back, replaying conversations in your head? Like a movie, it's human, but it's also misleading. What matters more than a single glance or compliment is consistency. Patterns. Does she maintain eye contact often? Does she keep choosing to spend time with you? That's the language you want to pay attention to. Here's the truth. False positives are everywhere. A waitress smiles because it's her job. A coworker laughs because you're in a meeting. It doesn't always mean there's a deeper meaning behind it. So how do you stay grounded, stay present, stay calm, and above all, stay authentic? The right connection won't leave you guessing. It will feel natural, mutual, and clear, not forced or overthought. Attraction should never feel like decoding a puzzle. It should feel like recognition. How to respond? So you've noticed the signs, the prolonged eye contact, the subtle touches, the way she leans in just a little closer when you speak. Now the question is, what do you do next? The answer is simple. You respond. But not with arrogance, not with ego. You respond with grounded confidence, the kind that says, I see you, I respect you, and I'm present. Most men either overthink it or freeze. They second guess, they hesitate, and the moment passes. But confidence isn't about rehearsed lines or slick moves. It's about being real, being clear, and taking that step forward without fear of rejection dictating your every move. If you feel the connection is mutual, ask her out. Not in a way that feels transactional, but in a way that says, I'd like to know you better. Maybe suggest a walk, a coffee, a simple shared moment. Keep it human, not performative. And if you're not sure, that's okay. You can still express genuine interest. A compliment that comes from awareness, not flattery. A statement of curiosity, not pressure. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to win someone. It's to connect with someone who wants to meet you halfway. The real magic begins when confidence meets sincerity and the courage to act. So let's bring it all together. We've explored 5 subtle yet powerful signs a woman shows when she's secretly into you. Genuine eye contact, those gentle, lingering touches, how she truly listens and engages with you, her playful teasing. That sparks connection, and the most telling sign of all, she makes time for you even when life is hectic. But beyond the signs, there's something deeper here. Awareness. Learning to read these signals isn't about manipulation or tactics. It's about connection. It's about learning to notice what's often unspoken and responding with presence and respect. Because the truth is, women are constantly communicating, just not always with words. When you become the kind of man who sees, listens, and honors these subtle cues, you don't just become more attractive, you become someone worth building something real with. Now, here's your next move. Apply what you've learned. Be present in your conversations. Notice the patterns. Trust your gut, but stay grounded. And above all, practice the kind of attention that makes another person feel safe, seen, and valued. If this video spoke to you, let us know. Drop a comment, hit the like button, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss more content like this. Because attraction isn't just about sparks, it's about understanding. And from understanding, something deeper begins. And maybe that's the quiet truth behind all the signals, all the signs. We don't just want to be loved. We want to be understood without having to say too much. If this video made you reflect, even just a little, leave a comment, share your thoughts, or a moment when you missed a sign, or recognized one too late. And if you want more content that helps you see deeper into connection, emotion, and modern relationships, subscribe to this channel. We're not chasing views. We're chasing clarity. See you in the next story.